Dragon Ball Card Warriors. I know, another Dragon Ball card game. But this one is free. Everything's free. No loot crates, nothing. I'm just going to show you some footage of a game I played. I played a couple of games and I actually do enjoy it. Even though it is very much a clone of Hearthstone, it's got its own unique kind of feel to it. Obviously, you slap the Dragon Ball logo onto it and it immediately makes it a lot better. Now, I know this free update was a bit controversial amongst a lot of fans of the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot video game, as the Dragon Ball DLC 2 was supposed to come out by now, the Golden Frieza DLC and A New Power Awakens Part 2. But that's still not out, and a lot of people are pretty mad that a card game came out and not the DLC, even though I'm not entirely sure why get that angry about it, because I'm sure it's separate teams or there's some good reason for it. Maybe they just want to make the DLC even better. But there's been very little information on the DLC Part 2, but in the meantime we got this free update. Initially this was supposed to launch with Season 2, or Season 2, the second DLC, Golden Frieza. But we got this instead, and it's a nice free update. There's no loot crates, there's no money that you shove in, everything is you have to grind for. Is that a good thing? I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty fun. Obviously a lot of ideas borrowed from Hearthstone, very heavily inspired, you can't really get away from that. But there's some interesting fun mechanics. It's a nice resource management card game, which I always appreciate. I'm a big fan. If you watch the channel, I'm a big fan of the Dragon Ball Super card game. I play that a lot, so an extra card game to play is pretty. This is just one of the games I'm showing you guys that was a bit more exciting, a bit more back and forth, because I find the games, I wouldn't say it's really heavily skill based, but if you don't know what you're doing or you just make bad choices, you fall behind very quickly. I think now at the moment I have a small lead. Obviously that frog card there, the Captain Ginyu frog, is probably one of the best cards in the game, because of the fact that in this game you have to manage your energy pretty intelligently if you want to do well. As you can see in the green box where the 2 and the 0s, you can't see how much energy I have because of just the way it cuts off. Every time you don't use your energy, or whatever energy you don't lose goes into your energy bank, which you can break at any time to have a huge amount of energy, or just one extra energy if you want. But you know, you kind of want to leave that off till late game, till you can make one big move to really put it against your opponent. And obviously there's a lot of broken effects. One of the cards just wipes the board of your opponent's monsters or creatures or heroes, whatever the name is for the battle cards. Maybe it is just battle cards. So you want to build up to that. Depending on your strategy, I've seen a lot of cool decks on this. I've seen one that focuses on just building up your energy bank and then immediately recycles it again. I've seen ones that get energy really fast. I've seen decks that do all sorts. Well, not all sorts, but there's been some variety for a free update. I'm pretty happy with it overall. I can't complain. I love card games. Obviously through the dual life I had quite a bit of fun. Obviously the grinding is kind of frustrating, the fact that you just kind of want to get to a good deck quickly, but obviously if we all got good decks immediately, you get bored of it pretty quick, and it also put pressure on the developers to update the free update. I don't know if this is going to get any more support or if this is just it. There's not an awful lot of details. And obviously Bandai with all that's going on at the moment, it's kind of tough to know exactly where this game's going to do, how well it's going to do. The reception for it has been kind of odd. Obviously when it launched the network was down, so you know, that was kind of a big, there might be people who wanted to try it out, saw it was down, never went back to it, which I hope people did keep trying like myself until it was up, because I really think this is very fun. I don't think this is going to be the next big card game, or this is going to go much further, but you know, it's an interesting experiment. If you were on the line, if you were thinking about getting this game, I don't think this is what's going to push a lot of people over to actually picking up Kakarot if you were on the fence, but it might be. There might be people who will see it on sale and be like, I like Dragon Ball Z, I played through the story, and hell, it's got a little mini funny Hearthstone clone to keep me busy, get my money's worth. There's all different people. I think this card game does offer a lot. I think if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, you just kind of, and you like Hearthstone, I don't know what the crossover is or the Venn diagram on Hearthstone / Dragon Ball fans is. They're both incredibly popular, so possibly big enough for this to be worth it. As you can see at the moment, he brings down a Gohan who has guard, so that kind of protects him from a big shot. Meaning that's going to slow me down. As you can see, I only have one monster on the field. But thankfully I have that card that can weakens the Gohan and gets rid of him, allowing me to attack him directly now. Obviously I'll be able to summon a monster the moment I have 4 mana and I attack him directly. And then I'm just going to pass turn. As you can see, my opponent currently has 18,000. I'm still perfect, still Gucci with 30,000, but I have 10 there in my mana bank, and 7 currently it's going to be rolled over to 8 for my next turn. So you can see I have a good clear advantage here, but obviously it's a card game, and any good developed card game, your opponent's never really out until, well, unless they completely burn through their resources. But as you can see, he has 4 cards in his own hand, so he should be able to, or at least the opportunity to be able to get out of this situation should be there. He's not quite doing anything at the moment. Kind of the struggle with card games is there's a lot of time of just waiting for your opponent to do something. But obviously this is the kind of fear, so he's going to break the bank, use all the mana he absorbed, and he's gone all the way down to 6. Let's gonna see what he brings out. Obviously there's a bit of lag from network issues and stuff like that. I don't think Bandai are going to win awards for their great servers and great connection. I think a lot of people who love Dragon Ball FighterZ will know, will have their grievances with the old netcode. But obviously this is just a card game, doesn't have to nearly deal with the amount of data going back and forth in a game of Dragon Ball FighterZ. You know, the frame rates aren't exactly the most specific things or really required things for a card game. Could you imagine? I lost because of frame dip. Ooh, that's not gonna happen. But he spent it all. Big boy on the field. But obviously, when, unlike Yu-Gi-Oh! Or even the Dragon Ball Super card game, when you summon something like Hearthstone, it has summoning sickness, so he's brought 2 down, but he can't attack. And at the moment, he's brought down a Hercule barrier, so I can't attack him directly, but this cell should be able to remove the Hercule, and it will. So it means even though I can't attack him, or I can't kill his even though I wasn't going to be able to attack him directly with the Hercule, by playing Cell removed them, so now I'm going to play this Goku, which will take 4,000 attack from either or 4,000, will do 4,000 damage to his big boy Goku. So the tactic right now is to remove that Goku, because obviously at the moment I wouldn't be able to kill him because Yamcha is the only thing that can attack. Or no, I guess it's a change in tactic to allow, I suppose, with 30,000 attack I must have just kind of thought, F it, you know. He can't kill me because unless he's either going to summon 2 or 3 things with Swift, or I believe it's called Swift if you can attack your first turn, if you don't have summoning sickness. Down comes the Hercule with guard, which is kind of annoying because obviously I should have been able to kill him, because he has to kill the frog with Goku. That's the only way, because the frog has barrier on it, so that's the only thing you're allowed to target until that's removed. He can't attack my leader, so it's fairly safe to have left Goku alone until my next turn. But obviously with the Hercule now, that's going to slow me down unless I have a way of removing it. But then he plays this card that just wipes all the monsters off my fields and allows him to attack me directly. So that's why, yeah, that's a really big loss for me. With very little resources in hand, I had a huge lead and gone with just 1 card. He spent it all. So I'm going to have to work my way back into this. So I'm bringing out Vegeta, and allowing Vegeta's ability allows me to do quite a bit of damage. You'll see now what this I do. I decide to take out the Goku because obviously, or I'm aiming to try and get rid of Goku because well, 10,000 attack is 10,000 attack. Yeah, taking that much hits every turn would be a terrible idea. It wouldn't work out too well for me. So obviously now I did damage to Goku because I wanted essentially that Goku to have to kill itself to get over my Vegeta. That was the plan. But obviously he's gonna, or I didn't want him to be able to just run over my Vegeta because I needed Vegeta to be able to attack. So I've kind of set up that he has to attack me directly because I have enough to be able to absorb the 2 shots. It's kind of forced him to have to attack me directly because I need that Vegeta to finish him off. I kind of hope that I have something to remove the Goku next turn. Maybe something that just does 4,000 damage. I think there's the Goku that does Goku Kamehameha that just does 4,000 damage. But he has obviously Hercule with the guard, so I can't just attack the Goku. So yeah, he's now summoned a monster, and he's gonna crash with Hercule. That removes them both thanks to that spell he used, and now I'm in an even worse position. 10,000 attack. He just had to ram his guard away, which I don't know if that's the most intelligent move to get rid of guard, because that would have really slowed me down. If I had something that did 11,000 damage and Swift in my hand, that would do quite a lot of damage. As I was speaking of the devil, I was talking about, and I summoned this. This kind of saved my backside quite a bit. And now I'm going to summon 2 Gokus on the field, SS3 Goku and a Kamehameha on the field. So as you can quite see, it does go quite back and forth, because I was out of that game, but thankfully by drawing that card, the Kamehameha, it's really kind of turned the tables back and got rid of one of his most powerful cards. Now obviously the power is in his hand because I passed turn, so he might have another monster or thing back that could wipe the board. He might not have another English, do I know it? He might have another board wipe, and that would ruin me if he does have it. But he brought out I believe that's to go on with Garda again on it. Yeah, he's just going to attack, and he passed, so now full advantage, and I've drawn another one. Which is very unlucky for him, because he had that monster with guard on the field. I think the obvious move is to go for the thing with, the guard. I'm going to remove his one battle card. Well, he's now left with one battle card that has guard on it, and I'm going to remove that. So it looks like this is going to go one more turn, because the Goku I just summoned will have summoning sickness, and I'm going to end turn. So this is really a decisive turn. If he has an out, then it's over. If he has any kind of board wipe, but he will have to play something quite big, or something quite, or even just something. Well, if it's quite big and has guard, that would probably do it. If it's a chunky boy, it might do it for him. But I can't imagine too many cards that would take 3 attacks to get rid of. So I'm not entirely sure what you can do. There might be another board wipe. I'm not entirely sure what he just did there. Okay, he summoned out another big boy, but that doesn't wipe the field out. So obviously now I'm just gonna win, because I'm gonna attack all 3 of my boys to win the game. Well, not even my 3 boys, just that one. So yeah, I managed to win that game. It was very back and forth. I enjoyed it a lot. I would recommend you try this out if you have Kakarot. If you wanted to play Kakarot, or you were like, I have to spend the money to play this card game, but I would be like, ooh, hold off a bit. But it's fun. It's fun. It's definitely fun. It's definitely given a bit more longevity to it. It's a weird decision to put a card game in an action game, but if you like this video, if you thought it was enlightening, please like, share, and subscribe. And have an awesome day.